Good morning, good day, good night, everybody. I'm Tashi, and I am here to read you some good night. Sorry, nah, just kidding. I'm here to read A Son of Justice. We are still on a deadly mission to stop Trigon from taking over Haven's body. Garfield and others went into the mirror, staff mirror, and hopefully he can go inside and save Raven from the darkness that is taking over him. You can hear the bark from me. Okay, let me use some light. So we get. There we go. We're going to radar mode. Tell me more. Give me a second before we start. I'm going to. Hey, here I am. Oh, on the other side of the stage. Can see me. Sorry about that. Let me see if everything is fine here. Yes, we are live. Good. And let's see what happens. Yes, that is Summer. Probably if I only thought to better describe her surroundings. So her was the closest one that came to mind. They said me too. Things sound light to me. When we finally get out. John was the picturesque visage of the inner workings of human psyche. Yet imagine when Miss Boy first told her of the plan. Ethan was already telling him of Jane North. Something in her blood had lightning filled sky. I mean, it is mostly because of the influence of the father. Trigon, sorry, I forgot his name. There was a volume flowed off the floating platforms and into the endless abyss. And when the red lightning flashed, you see the mountainous silhouette of a horned for animal society. Trigon. but we couldn't tell about thinking of him as a being bigger than how Raymond previously described him. Okay, girl, you have been here before somehow. Yes, darling. A little annoyed how her younger brother always didn't tell her about this little incident. What can we expect? Raymond's mind is complicated. With more admitted to of it. He is fearing that at least one of his ribs were broken, which made talking amazing difficult. How complicated? For me, trying to see how being inside a person's mind could get any more complicated than it already was. When the thought she was walking on extra wrong, or wanted simply brain matter, and bundles of nerve cells from his mind perceived as wrong. Was everyone's mind like this? Was her mind like this? And if so, what did it look like? She hoped it looked better than this. I assume most of the humans and Amnesians mind is much cleaner than this. I think he had little copies of herself running around the place. Each believing it had a motion of hers. I call them emoticons. Romeo and Megan stared blankly at Miss Boy, who shocked to report that statement. Then her face lit up. Oh my god, it is like Inside Out, she exclaimed, and Megan sighed. Anyway, the Lord Master parents don't why Romeo accepted the problem and the implications. The emoticons, what are they? They are just what I said, living embodiment of her emotions. Miss Boy reiterated. He then nudged emotion tossed his hand into claw, using it to draw diagrams on the ground. There is 8 in total, Miss Boy explained as his sister and Tommy came over to him. Pink ribbon is her joy, gray is her timidity, green is her bravery, orange is her rudeness, yellow is her knowledge, purple is her passion, brown is her sloth, and red is her anger. Red hummed, rubbing her chin. I can suspect that the personalities are obvious. Yup. But Miss Boy said, popping the pea. Last time Sai and I were here, anger was being used as a channel for Trigon to take over. It was uniting all of the other emotions, with Raven herself to welcome them. So that's what we do, Community Clan. We find the other emoticons, bring them to where Raven is being held, and get tired out. I mean, the same thing won't work again, probably. Is it really that simple? Importantly, yes. I mean, Boy side. I don't know. Raven was still in control of herself when that happened. There's no telling if it will work now. I mean, you don't know if you don't try. She paused and frowned. In the distance, all the lights flashed illuminated Trigon's silhouette, and she glanced her face at the side. We have to try, she proclaimed. Raven will do the exact same thing for us. You have nothing left. Megan and Miss Boy looked at the red paper and nodded. She was right. Even if the effort was doomed from the start, they had to at least try. Alright, let's do this, Miss Boy said as he rose to his feet. Where do we go first? Megan asked, as the trio began walking down the stone platform. Everyone's mind is like a maze, Miss Boy explained. Each emotion is housed in its own separate place. We find them, We find emotions, and we are one step closer to feeling given. Rumi liked the sound of that, simple and straightforward. But the more she thought about, the more glaring problems sprang into mind. Quick question, he began. Where do we go? Same question as we asked before. He might move to answer, on top himself. He might make him blank. And after a while, he sighed and illuminated his feet. I don't know, he admitted. I mean, I couldn't tell about her face. Why, Rumi simply looked a little peeved. She was letting herself out. Well, I get going then, he shouted as she continued marching on. I'm waiting. The other two nodded along. He was following her. He came close, moving at a quick but steady pace, while keeping sure to avoid drawing attention toward themselves. The more distance they traveled, the more damage they saw, being forced against him and against him. It was horrifying to the young contest, but she spaced on, all the same. Only they finally came across the splitting path. One led to high ground, while the other descended. Both ended with a hollowed circular stone. Hermes snapped his finger inside of them. Those are the doors, he said. They lead to the other path started. Really? This was Hermes' question. I see tries about that most portals. You will decide which one to go to. So she decided to try. On a side and two buttons. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So Justin, as she was doing it outside the team while her hand was pointing. Wilbur and Mel looked at her deprecatingly. Yes, neither of them had better weapons, so they went along with it. I mean, they have to go to most of them at some point. Finally, the mission on the bottom path, and we are walking down towards it. You're going the wrong way, a small timid voice whispered out, holding zero in the text. So we went to get some rolled around towards the source. I was finding herself aiming in small, glass-out rocks. And Miss Boy was staring at it as well, trying to strike, and the moment noticed when they saw a head peek out. Raven? Obi asked, as she followed her weapon and attempted to her back before turning it over. When the little hand disappeared behind the rock in fear, she thought to herself. She felt wondered why Raven would act in such a manner, or to remember of the emotions Miss Boy had earlier described. Are you timid? Obi gently asked. Raven's hand peeked out towards Trigon, feeling nothing. Robin nodded back, and Miss Boy crouched next to her. Hey, remember me? He asked, and he nodded again. Miss Boy smiled. I remember you too. Hold out, okay? We're trying to find Raven, and we need your help. I'm not much help to anyone. Miss said, and she finally exited the makeshift shelter. Ruby immediately noticed that she looked exactly like Raven. The only difference was the security was gray in color, and the expression was fearful. What are you talking about? You are out of help. Ruby replied, and she slowly walked them to the emotion. Even looked at her, and she cried. It's my fault behind this mess, if only— Nope. Ruby interjected, surprising the other present. Even moved to interject, only for Ruby to shake her hand. Nope, we are not having a pity party today. Instead, we are going to go out, find other youths, and kill them as well. Come on. Ruby suddenly grabbed Timmy's hand, and led them both up to the ascending path. Miss Boy and Megan watched them go, with surprise, before moving after them. Yeah, Ruby knows how to deal with timid people. I was seen the last time, Miss Boy wondered. What do you mean? Megan asked. I mean that Ruby would have have been a huge help last time dealing with the timid rival. Oh, come on, Mega smiled. You know that, man. It's a sad, but... This, you don't understand how tiresome it is to have a person say, I'm sorry, over and over and over and over again. Constantly for every single affection. One I didn't even know she did, and another I wish she didn't let me know. I'm sorry. Miss shouted back, a voice softened by the distance. The mean boy sighed. Even the next one was fine by 10,000. And in the match, the win. You will see that that situation would have quickly gotten on. Then they had a job to do. So they continued through the open portal. Motor and Yumi's slight surprise, the rippled around them, and the surrounding changed. The sky above me was still above the head, indicative of Terra's gravity influence, but the landscape was around. The landscape around was a saying gas plane. That was marked to golden gas. Yumi, we swear, he was giggling. At the same time, however, he saw the grass and flowers dying on the far end of the field. Sarah's rapture was fading. I didn't know how long they had. I'm sorry, Min apologized again. It's okay, Min replied. Mimi, which emotion lives here? Joy, I think. Min responded. He had a girl. I know what he is, as he pointed toward it. Probably somewhere over there. Because as Ruby noticed before running towards where Miss Boy had pointed, he would have made the routine in place, forcing Ruby to come back and pick her up by their side and rush back into the fray. Miss Boy and Megan had disappeared behind the hill, but as Ruby got closer, she began to hear shouts. She placed him back on the ground, pulling out her kiss and nose as she bobbed over the hill. All of the same Miss Boy getting hugged by a pink snow shaman. I'm so happy you are here! Jump in as Miss Boy tried to pry her off. Get off me! No! Hey, you make me happy! You are always happy. Yep! Ruby and Megan looked in mild fascination and the overly joyful Raymond. This was an unexpected look for the half demon, all smiles and full of rainbows. It unnerved them, but Miss Boy simply looked annoyed. He looked at the two girls for assistance, and with a smile on her face, Megan moved to get her happy Raymond off. Alright. Get off him, you had no fun. Megan said. Okay. Enjoy his hand, as she let go of Miss Boy, causing him to fall on his mouth. Young girl, and when she saw Ruby a bit timid, she smiled and made, hello! Hi, Ruby waved back. Wait. Dad? Yeah, hiding from Dad mostly. Not me though. I'm not going to let those guys ruin my mood. That's good. Wait, what do you mean those guys? Ruby asked, suddenly very worried, and the hands on the back of her neck stood at the end. Joy smiled and pointed to the far end of the field. Oh damn! Joy said, and the sailors followed her hand to see a horde of black creatures running toward them. Woman's eyes widened as she realized the black fur intersected with the white moon plate, ignoring her light. Those are him, right? Joy asked, and her nodded. So, they aren't fun to play with at all. You think? We shouted. As she really aimed kissed a nose at the horn and fired. Then the mofo stepped back until eyes by her bullet landed into it. The meat stumbling and twitching while the other charged onward. Before it screamed out and followed them. Ruby let the cab and others as she built into this race to a more little magazine. I actually like the idea of them forgetting to that they are not using lethal bullets at the moment. Because in their own world they never had to live in this. Because everyone had order. In the wilderness south, Megan and Miss Boy charged forward to meet the camp head on. Miss Boy turning himself into a rhino, and they made contact. He passed an author on his own, on his horn, and the nimble barrel wolves leapt on top of him. He snarled and made his stake high, and Megan flew into this. I will destroy them with a few well-placed punches I cased. He tried to destroy another's mind, until he find that there was no mind in the first place. Well, that's no creepy at all, I shouted, as the werewolf lunged at her. He not intentional, pulling the beast to flare to her with no damage rolled. Coming enjoying the fray, biting the monster with her side, choosing a few more, and screamed to the rest. Like Cape tried to bite her leg off, Gummy jumped and fired into its hand, killing the game instantly, while using her substance to elevate herself. She could rely the game, throw her the hand, Gummy fired another shot after shot, each one striking the hand of Kim and killing it. Kim and another, but she happy in heaven, joyfully ran to the horn, with a scare in the blood. What? Gummy shouted as she accidentally shifted her aim, tagging him in the leg, that was lunging at the emoticon. Her parent laughed by spinning around the claw of the monster. She immediately was trampled by a green elephant. Bismarck continued to swing his hand from side to side, crushing and impaling him with each movement, but Megan flew above the horn. He was concentrated and threw out seconds in breath, crushing the game almost instantly. There were only a few left, and Megan felt confident for the first time that day. She heard a scream, and she wheeled her hand around to see Timid coming from a cave. Megan, using her super speed, flew around the cave and slammed it into the ground. His body still strong, so Megan pounded it with enough force to split upon the hand. Then, but disintegrated into a knot, and Megan allowed herself to wait. I'm saying I'm sorry. You are sorry. Megan interrupted the emotion. Standing up, she turned again towards Happy Haven, who somehow managed to maintain her happy state, even as Rumi and me tore into her. Seriously, now was not the time for fun and games. Rumi declared while pointing at Joy's hand. I was killed building on an election. Something means more to that in ground. You could have gotten hurt, and I know that is the last thing we need. The merchant said. Oh, I know, Joy said, holding over to self-take skeptically. Then why did you think that type of thing like a game? Rumi asked. Because I have to. I'm everyone's happiness, and if I let myself not be happy, then what I'm closer to is consuming her. Don't ask for cold Rumi and mean to sad her in shock. Oh, okay then, carry on. Me too. Joy shouted, coming at sleeping room. Come on, I will show you to others. Except for Inga, but she's gonna be dead and heaven now, so we'll find her soon. The CEO briefly pointed at the same man for what it meant, and immediately came to the conclusion. As before, Trigon was using anger as his chief vessel to take over Raven's body. The presence of Scream inside her hand was alarming as well. But they knew that now was not the time to seek the answer to that. Girl? I whispered and they followed the emotion with an impostor. Was she like this last time? Yes? His boy answered with a shadow. Yes, she was. Ah! The tear alone and Miss Boy's statement, I continued down the path. After a month, Timmy began to apologize for her fellow emotions' action, only for the tea to cut her off. There is a declaration of forgiveness. They fell there in the portal, and most of the remaining gasland was consumed. Our was moving quicker now, but is doing the next area as soon as possible. Then they went to the entryway. Yumi, Megan, Mean Boy, and the two more scrolls found themselves in the coastal library. More and more scrolls were already waiting for them. Megan was and less wearing Gaven and the front. Close the door, now! He ordered, and the king closed it. Raven eventually did so. She tried to gain over magic into the doorway, hitting it to off. Just as more came at them to enter the library. They found her breath heat, and the portal shuddered. But soon went still. I think we are good, Rhea said as she started to leave. She then turned to face the yellow raven, knowledge, if she remembered correctly. I apologize for the state. Knowledge said she floated towards them. But given our current predicament, that is the least of my concern. Yeah, no kidding. It remembered. Once we jumped back and the buffer river suddenly showed herself onto him. She had a weird look in her eyes, which disturbed them, changing more than he could describe. Before he could even say anything, Asher wrapped him in a big hug and had him close. You're okay! You're okay! She whispered as she gazed at him. Wilbur blushed as she felt her hand rubbing at his hand. Then he turned to gaze toward his sister and held it in a plea for assistance. They gave none as they focused on lunch. Why had I came here? Rumi asked. I was in tired work too. What was left of our barrier? He had been letting in those creatures. Lord answered, speaking to a book that projected an image of the earth. There's around hundreds of them roaming Heaven's mind, and each projection of an actual. Wait, you mean these aren't here again? Well, asked for an interpretation, and Lord nodded. Precisely. It's how he has managed to get so many in there. And here, using his money, I was getting back to Coffin to spend his corruption towards him and money. It had us down by focusing an attention on toying with our friends. He was merely followed it somewhere else. Toying? We felt a sinking feeling in the stomach, which intensified the knowledge nodded. Yes, Trigon totally wanted to kill others without a second thought, but he wants all of us to suffer from preventing his conquest for so long. We scowled and catch her face before a sudden quake caused the room to rumble. Swaying back and forth. It surrounds around before Megan gently killed her. How do you know this? Megan asked. Slightly unnerved by just how calm the yellow raven was. I mean, she is knowledge. If she doesn't know, then no one knows. I am the embodiment of everything Gaven has ever learned. That includes her father, and her desire for torment. We repeated sharply before stealing her gaze. She had to remain focused on the task at hand. As when Kiss and Rose had tightly in her arms, she elongated with the emotion. We have planned to flee Haven. I know that I waited for you here, and I had timidity and joy to go at you. The last thing we need is to waste time. Now that Azumi turned her head to look at most much emotion, Timid struck into her. My joy had been smiled, and so she came and waved. Hello! I would have said bravery, but she didn't think the fight stayed to her father, lower her to her safety. Oh, come on, I couldn't take them. It was the cat with the buffalo chest. No, you couldn't. Rose sighed and rubbed her forehead in the letters. In any case, right now, we have to get to heaven and join with her. Otherwise, I will be unstoppable. Ruby, Miss Molly looked at each other for a month. Then back and together about clothes. Both clothes at each other. And together they moved towards the portal on the other side of the library. But a quake ensued, hoping a few of the moves, while the others continued walking without interruption. I hate walking! The bell complained. The lazy called, saying out her voice. I didn't really care, so it was responded with a hilltop. The group then reached out the portal, and knowledge that led into a yellow sphere into it. This will take us straight to heaven and Trigon, he explained, and the yellow sphere appeared between the stones. I suggest you run it yourselves. Miss Molly and my own focused again, and sit on their back. The chain kindling fast a very pain, so it goes to his chest, but he ignored it. His friend was in danger, and that mattered more to him than any personal bodily damage. Then he saw me slide toward the portal, and the combination echoing with each step until he disappeared completely. One by one, the others followed soon, until nothing was left in the library. Had any remained, you could have seen it consumed and swallowed into void. Let's see how far we are. Okay. That's good. We are not seriously that close, but we are not that far from that. We can finish this today. Joe Garrison, as he was slamming into a serious upon me, and that is from the impact, and the white knight fell into his mud. He rolled, rubbing his hand before he saw crimson blood race towards him. He barely had time to scream before Fear's body struck him, causing both to crash through the beam completely. The two brothers laid sprawled on top of each other in pain. Ugh! John moaned. I'm sorry! Her apologized as she slowly rolled off her father's body, fighting through the pain, fighting her body. The tap shone to his feet. Together they turned to face the palace heaven and frowned. The battle was not going well. It was obvious by now that Trigon was throwing with the group, and intending to draw as terrifying as long as possible. His plan was watered down, his aim slightly off, all done with a cackling grin blasted across Raven's face. He herself taken on the more damage appeared. Two pairs of hands was beginning to grow on top of her head, and her teeth becoming sharp fangs. The dark aura was pulsating around her body, warping the air and turning in the heat. Despite the sea of magma around them, John could swear that he saw his breath at times. He wouldn't let it stop him, however. As he raised his shield in front of him and charged towards Raven, the bullet-hard demon smiled as she lifted through a span towards him. On trying to move in, which John knew would end disastrously for him, he jumped to the side and allowed it to strike the ground behind him. His hair fell from the explosion, but he kept his stride and close to distance. He was throwing closer balls at Raven, who instead of trying to dodge or even deflecting blow, let me go to the blade with the palm of her hand. Then as Raven's four eyes bored into his own, but we can let him. Sean Ark, they implied, as he above Joel in the interior aura. John could feel his lips into sight as he fought to keep his screams down as Trigon marched towards him. Oh yes, I know who you are. I know who you all are. Did you ever think that you're fraud? to stand against me? Yeah, your cousin, but he can live to keep down his claim. You'll fail muscle training, and Trigon noticed as he couldn't continue the pool drawn apart. And John managed to find it within himself to speak up. Not really, he admitted, tasting a hint of copper on his tongue. What? She might? Trigon looked confused for a moment, giving Pyrrha enough time to hold a cool at Haven's hand. He demanded towards Pyrrha with a dual tongue, causing Trigon to flinch and absorb moment gas. Ow! The John ground. Yawned, I settled it back. He didn't have time to muddle, however, as Pyrrha hate towards the Pyrrha's heaven. How dare you! Trigon roared as he sent a wave of dark magic towards Pyrrha. She jumped and twirled sideways over attack, throwing a cooler at the top of her spin, finishing with a 3-point landing. Trigon anchored the effective attack and flew towards Pyrrha, who was now fired Milo towards her, advancing form. But her shield prevented the bullets from making any headway, and so when the demon closed the distance between them, she converted her rifle into a sword. They called a coup with her substance, and engaged into a swift brawl. The two combatants were moving so fast, it was hard for Joe to accurately make out. Trigon to Raven's body showed and whipped magic towards Pyrrha at every opportunity. The Guardian, meanwhile, bombed and weaved, jumped and twirled around each attack with expert precision. With each note, she counter-attacked with a slice or stab, or quickly matching Raven with her shield. Besides and Trigon, only for opponent to melt into shadow and into her form behind her. She used around to hastily thrust her shield in front of her as the Raven struck, sending Pyrrha receding back around the rubble. She was able to keep her footing, however. Hitting her teeth, she shot at Raven with her shield up, recovering Milo into self form at the same time. She fired while charging, the bullet striking Raven's body, but not penetrating. As she got nearer, she jumped and delivered a flying kick into Raven's gut, making her back suddenly, and allowing Pyrrha to uppercut her with the shield. Raven flew off front from the blow, and Pyrrha crouched and fired several shots into the descending body. Raven's body landed in a heap, and quickly disappeared into the shadow. I took the right back up, and it looked like a single face, one that looked terrifying to give the Guardian. Pyrrha on the turn, took her ground and sent me back Milo against a close fight, standing in the shining display. Trigon hit in the Raven's teeth, and the red of her skin darkened into a cool maroon. Two shot at each other again, just as Joe managed to regain his bearings and rushed to join his partner. Trigon saw this, and much to his own surprise, smiled. Joe felt the tentacle wrap around his ankle. With a shout, he was lifted high into the air, but then they began to whip him back and force against the ground, making Pyrrha's concentration long enough for Trigon to wrap a tentacle around her entire body, immobilizing her. He began to scream, and Pyrrha felt her bones go sick. Do you not see how futile your resistance is? He mocked. You could also brilliant from destroying your world, and his powers are pitiful compared to mine. What hope do you have? Yeah! Pyrrha lightly skinned as she set out to free herself, but was unable to do so. Trigon smiled, catching a few grenades with his body and hurling them back towards Nora. Ran charged towards her as well, firing so power at full auto as he closed the distance. In the mocking display of power, Trigon allowed the bullets to strike him, but instantly hitting the wound and the cold. They closed the distance, lighting up Trigon's body with his bayonet, or to receive the saber sword. Growing annoyed with his distraction, Trigon shot Raven away with balls of magic, causing his mother to be hurled into neurons and to collapse in a heap. But before they could even attempt to rise, Trigon burned them on the mound of rubble. Then smoking to himself, he felt a shotgun blast strike his hand, recording it very sadly. Slowly, he turned to Haven's hand, Trigon, Yang, and Meg, who were in less than standard condition. The auras were flickering, and mountains were beginning to form across their bodies. Turning towards them, Trigon slowly walked forward with Haven's hand outstretched, and its purple orbs crossing them as he keep middled behind her. In the end, Yang stepped forward and at her first friend, throwing punch after punch into Haven's body. To anger, each blow was merely absorbed by a shadow, doing no damage whatsoever. They, tugging behind Trigon, fired a gamble shot into her back, only for the blood to completely face to Trigon, as I also surprised Yang. He stumbled back, crossing her arms to protect herself, only to give Trigon an opening to grab Yang with magic, and turn her into the corner. The two flew back, as Trigon won off cocaine, taking it into thousands of tiny fragments as the auras finally broke. Yang! They mumbled as she struggled to fight through the intense pain coursing through her body, but found herself unable to rise. Yang, her arms shaking, pushed herself slowly up, by glaring at Haven's approaching body, only to feel Haven's heels while they pushed her back to the ground. Now, where you belong, Trigon shouted, under my heels just like the rest of this pathetic world. Who are you? He spat, only for Trigon to respond by kicking her side. Yang felt the air leave her lungs as she had the bump, as she lost her side in pain. Know your place, and you may just leave. He ordered and turned to face the lost remaining Titans. Rattled and bruised Nightwing, Starfire, and Cyborg were racing towards them. The submarine throwing starboard at Haven's body, while Cyborg felt his pulpy cannon. Trigon affected them beneath, ripping them apart with sentinels of dark magic. Yeah! Cyborg yelled as he charged ahead, firing his pulpy cannon at maximum intensity. Trigon merely landed his pulpy ball shoot through Haven's body, wrapping her in Gota's ways. Through the projectiles through to her without harm. As Cyborg got close enough, he threw a double punch into the back of Haven's head, knocking it down, while it met a point-blank shot of a solid cannon. As Trigon stumbled back, touching Haven's head in pain, Cyborg thrust his arm forward and combined them into one large cannon. The back opened, revealing pores that glowed as he charged his weapon. Then he fired a cold of flowing beams, infused with plasma, sending a roaring Trigon back into the ruins of Titan Tower. Although the building collapsed further from the damage, causing Cyborg to frown suddenly. Oh man, my Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch was in there. He mentioned as he moved his attention back to recovered Trigon. His body was no worse for the wear, much to Cyborg's disappointment. Returning his arms to the normal configuration, he quickly raised them up to block wow, that's a hard one. Retaliatory attack from Trigon. The magic progressed in metallic arms, yet the force was powerful enough to send him skidding back across the ground. He got out his teeth, stuck in the ears by force of battle on his back. Each one filled with a small missile. At once, they shot out towards Haven and attempted on contact with her body, consuming her in the cloud of black smoke. The smoke was dissipated by a sight of hellish purple magic, sending the surprised Cyborg flying back. Starfire flew around him by firing two beams of ultraviolet energy from her hand, joined by a pair of ocular blasts. The four beams comprised of Haven, who presented a shield to keep them away from her. Growing more tired of the interference by the woman, they got more close and flew towards her. Sapphire flew back, flying a few starboards with Trigon easy launch. Sapphire continued to fly, by looking back at Raven, throwing starboard after starboard, only for Raven to suddenly disappear in the shadow. Surprised, Sapphire stopped and turned her body from side to side, trying to find her. She felt pain from her back and out her front. Suddenly, she lowered her hand to look at the blood and the magic coming out of her. With wide eyes, she turned her hand around to stare into Raven's four glowing eyes. With a faint grin, Raven finally pulled the blade out of Sapphire's body. There was no visible wound, but Sapphire catched it all the same. That's her agony as she lost control of her flight and crashed hard into the ground. Hurry! Then shouted as he ran towards his fallen teammate and grabbed him, only for Raven to suddenly teleport in front of him. Throwing himself diving flame over a shot of magic, as a Raven on the downward spiral with his electrified button, leading her around. Yeah! I got it as he reoriented himself. To the deep surprise, he felt a ninja of pain across along Raven's hand, but diving attacks had hit him. He now looked at diving methods, and he saw a small coat of silver powder. Ant metal. I growled before an idea popped into his hand. Smiling, he suddenly folded up and above diving, seeing the light of how heavy the Titan's leader was breathing was. Tell me! How long were you going to sit on that? If you think I'm going to restaurant, diving fine before launching himself at Trigon, flying a grappling hook to bring her towards him. He met her body with a rising knee, swinging a button at the same time. Trigon broke the button with her arm, only for the other to suddenly slam into her guard, knocking her back. So you say? I was saying by cutting the opposite area, he's smiling. And yet, despite this being one of the only materials you have capable of possibly defeating me, you only use it now, after all of your friends have fallen. How curious. Laughing other than respond, two or three were exploding windy towards his first fan. Each one looking for money. They combined his muscles into a large bolster, each electrified. Each end electrified, and then towards the Raven, with one end pointed forward like a spear. And we slammed into a gun, adding more of electricity to her body, and sending her slightly back, but Trigon merely grabbed hold of the weapon and handed it into Raven's body. You think I don't know why you are only using it now, but you, Dick Grayson, are wrong. I know exactly why you're afraid from using that method. You still care for her, and think she can be saved. I will save her, you master. And the crowd, as he suddenly let go of itself. He then jumped on top of the end with a scream, pulling the weapon to man, and ripped itself out of Raven's hand. The end closest to Raven uppercutted her, throwing her hand back and causing the staff to spin in the air. Raven caught it and spun right end to end. Each circle striking Raven multiple times. He more at her, pushing Trigon to get Raven's feet, as he flew back to gain some distance. Oh, I'm very much sure of that. Trigon touched while lightly looking Raven's hand with her feet. There isn't much left of her to save. What little remains will be consumed and replaced with my own design. Raven is stronger than you think. She's stronger than you. I mean that by throwing a wing beam. And last time, however, Trigon caught the projectile in between Raven's fingers, crushing it with ease. I admit, Raven is powerful in many ways. Her force can keep me at bay, but impressive. But what else can I expect from my only daughter and favorite child? Especially when her mothers were so disappointing compared to her. They were unimaginative, unimpressive, and weak kittens who didn't deserve my blood. This is the first night we had heard of Tiger having other children, me too. But he couldn't say he was surprised given who Tiger was at his age. He hoped that the sons of Tiger weren't still around, but that was a very far the name. As Tiger continued his taunting gun, this by making more of Lightning the neck. Her capacity to love was what made her stand out, however. I was admitted by grabbing a hold of Lightning himself. Neither I nor my source ever could, not even that love, is what makes her so powerful and perfect for my design. Only she could open the door to Earth, a prize I have been yearning for so long. You may continue to yearn for it. Lightning attempted to speaking, but the potato catch his foot and turn him away. And we managed to land himself properly, handing a winding, unsupported at Tiger's open posture. Nick Grayson, you care for Raven. You always have, and deep down, you know my daughter is beyond your ability to save. There's a way for you to stop me. But are you willing to pay the price? Let me stop the call. He knew exactly what Tiger was referring to. His mind edged towards it, as he thumbed the end metal knife for that in his interval. Yes, end metal, the ubiquitous method of Trigon and his people. One capable of killing God. When you stab me with it, I would die. But so would Raven. Let me hit sharply, confirming Tiger's honest question. The demon's laughter moved across the island as he glared at him. Well, what are you waiting for? You have the chance to save your world, right here and now. To stop me forever. Do it! Do it! I won't! And we began, only for Tiger to cast him. You fool! If you won't listen to me. His features began to change. Immediately to normal, as Tiger's voice faded out. Perhaps you will listen to her. What? I made it as him as whole as it, but she becomes its familiar grave, and the second pair of eyes disappeared. The lead is swayed back and forth, she swayed back and forth, and began to fall, only for Lightning to dive forward, getting her in her arms. Raven! Raven, speak to me! I begged. And they were beginning to cough with her eyes closed. See? He barely got out. Yes, it's me, Raven. Don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. Please, he whispered. Her voice hushed me as tears began to seep out of the corners of her eyes. Hear me. Please. Don't let him win. I even felt his heart shatter as he went to request. Tears over his own, coming out of his torn mess. Again, his identity towards the knife. Slowly, he pulled it out and handed it off her, debating whether to fulfill her wish. Then, with a shout, he threw the weapon away and had her close. No! Lightning cat. He was surprised, opened her eyes, and Lightning cat her silently. Raven, I promise you that we will win. You and all of us together. Raven sat out across the mountain sea, surrounding the ruins of Titan's tower. Feeling Lightning's words sink into her core. She wrapped her arms around him as he began to sob, wanting this moment to last forever. Nick, you fool! Raven's voice suddenly gave way to Titan's limerick echo. I thought so, yeah. And then we found the most of agony out from his bag. As for the spice of money stepped into him. 2 on the shoulders and 2 on the hips. But even if he tried to stop Ivan, it would only make Trigon stronger and he could still counter-attack. Yeah! He skinned and the money casted him off, and Ivan's pictures quickly gave way to a neighboring form. You blind, foolish child. Throwing away the only weapon, the only chance you had to defeat me. And for what? A chance at moral victory over me? One that kept your family intact? Your defeat was sealed the moment you let weakness cloud your judgment. Trigon gently floated over to the barrier, and the other titans writhed in pain along the ground, as his money crossing to them. You won't win! They shouted to the pain, only for Trigon to laugh. And who exactly said to stop me? The secret is terrorizing my daughter's mind in this attempt to free her. Seeing that with alarmed expression, Trigon smiled. Oh yes, I know they are here. And like you, they stand no chance. Admittedly, the changeling survival is unexpected, but one that will be quickly rectified. Hearing this, Yang attempted to rise off the ground once again, only for the money spinning beside him. That was much the same result, and Trigon laughed. It's hopeless to do this, but fear not, you shall not die yourself. No, you will only rectify that mercy once I am done with my work. First your precious city, then the earth itself will follow. You will watch as the people you want to protect will burn in agony, living out the rest of their feeble existence and my playthings, knowing that you failed. Only then, when you know the true depth of your failure, will I grant you the sweet mercy of death. Then, without saying another word, I charged up a spell and fired it at the barrier. At first it did nothing, but then, to their horror, cracks began to appear. And so, Trigon is ready to get out of the barrier that was saving Earth from his influence. When this barrier shut out, all of Earth will be including with the red cloud, the red sky, the lava, ether water, and everything else. And more demons are gonna appear. So, Ruby will have to learn how to use her gift inside the mind of Raven. This is probably the only chance they have. But yeah, this has been a long part, and let me just save that we are here. Let's go back to the top and let's see how long is gonna be chapter 17. It's even longer! Yay! So it's gonna be another 2 or 3 further. But yeah, it has been actually 1 hour of streaming. If we don't count the first 2 minutes while I wasn't here. So, yeah. We will see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye bye! We will continue to struggle. There is still a long way to go. But at the same time, this is literally the finished already, so we don't have to wait for them to finish the chapters. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna catch up very soon. This is at least a year of more reading. But thank you everyone for being here, and see you next time. Bye bye!